Hello, today is May 20th, 2020. The time is 9:27 a.m. Why have I decided to talk about this COVID nonsense and anti-mask nonsense? Unlike other people, channels, who like to talk about trending events and gain followers and likes and all this other stuff, that's not why I talk about it. Before I get into my explanation on why, I want to share something I've shared extensively in another video. If anyone should be worried about this COVID nonsense, it's me. Apparently, I have, well, let me just back up a sec. I survived being aborted. I was born dead, and apparently it took doctors 45 minutes to resuscitate me to bring me back to life. And as a result, my lungs had some damage, I guess, and throughout my life I've had lung problems. And despite it all, I was still very successful with athletics. But as I'm getting older, it's getting worse. In 2010, I was told it's getting bad. In September of 2016, realized how bad it is. I talk about this in a video in 2017 and more in depth. So if anyone should be worried about this COVID nonsense, it's me, and I'm not. And I see right through the facade and BS with regards to wearing a mask. So anyway, going back to why I've been talking about this worldwide lockdown and COVID and everything. I spent 7 years fighting for truth and justice, not just for myself, but for everyone, while whistleblowing police, judicial, and political corruption. Not something that I wanted to do, not something that I sought out to do. I see many people, especially online, sitting behind a keyboard, wanting this. Let me tell you, it's not what it's cracked up to be. And during those 7 years, I fought for all this and whistleblowed. Not in the environment of an office or a nice home or those luxuries. You can see the environment. I spent part of my time doing all that. And when I tell people in other videos about how it's going to play out, how they're going to discredit people, how they're going to make accusations, they're going to do all these things, I'm speaking firsthand. I'm not reading this from someone's comment or some video or anything. I'm speaking from firsthand experience. And this is what I'm trying to prepare everyone else for. It's not going to be all glorious, glamour, all this other nonsense that people think. Not at all. Not even close. Anyway, I digress. So 7 years ended, more or less ended, December of 2019. In January of 2020, it was time for me to try to salvage what was left of my destroyed life. This whole event has only destroyed my life. It destroyed my reputation. It's left me partly disabled from a beating by 2 former police officers based on a false accusation by a female. So I have all this to contend with. I'm left with nothing. It was during this time in the beginning of this year where I was reunited with my mother. I haven't seen her in 21 years. That's a long story in itself. Didn't go quite as I maybe would have liked, maybe hoped. Hope is the impossibility of reason. So I did a whole change of plans and The day I was going to move forward with that and try to, I don't know, rebuild my life, the whole world got shut down. And I was shocked. Hollywood couldn't write a better script of my life. And I know this has impacted everyone. I'm only speaking from my perspective. So I began looking into all this and understanding more and more. And this is why I've been talking about this COVID nonsense and masks and everything else. Because in my situation, and I've mentioned this before, being partly disabled and destitute, all this has a severe impact on me. And again, I'm in the trenches, in the front line, trying to survive now with all these other things being imposed. My concern is not if a store is going to serve me or not, and ridicule of others about not wearing a mask or not. I have all that plus more. And I'm not asking for anyone to feel sorry for me or anything else. And despite everything, over all these years, I never complained. This is why I talk about COVID and the masks and everything else. Not to be popular. And now I continue to survive, continue telling my story, and fighting somewhat for a new cause that again has been imposed on me personally. I'm only speaking personally here. The only difference between now and the 7-year fight that I had in whistleblowing, before I had, as I said, hope that at least something would turn out in my favor. Now I have nothing to look forward to. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.